Hello, my little goblins. We're back at it again, and this time we're playing Nouvelles. I don't know how to pronounce it, but we're playing the Hungry Burger deck. And you might be seeing, hey, this is a pile. There's 60 cards in the deck, because I'm going to tell you this beforehand, before you even watch this video. We play tested this quite a bit, and we were messing around with the ratios for a while to get to this point. I actually think if you can make a 40 card deck, fine, but like I feel like if you want like the toolkit of like a lot of different items, it's just really hard to fit in hand traps in this deck and to fit in the actual engine. So like I feel like if you're gonna make a 40 card list, you're gonna have like barely any hand traps, and that's a big problem. Because I'm going to tell you this right now, this deck is very, very, very weak to like Maxi and Ash Blossom. Like, ridiculously weak. I'll explain it more in the recap, but yeah. But, other than that, I mean, this is the new burger deck, right? So, we got a lot of support for Hungry Burger. We only play one of it in the deck because you don't need more than one. But, the good thing is, this deck is relatively cheap. Like, you only have 1, 2, 3... and then 6, so 6 in Archetype URs is not that bad when you compare it to what I was playing yesterday, the Vanquish Soul, which was like 10. I mean, Vanquish Soul is better than this, but it's still pretty interesting. So we're going to get into some games. You guys will see how this deck combos. This deck pretty much kind of works like Rika, in the sense are you attributing a bunch of your opponent's stuff. There is a catch to it, and I'll explain it in the recap again, like what I think about the deck. I think the deck is very fun, just so straightforward. But yeah, I think the recap's going to tell you a lot what you need in the deck. I'd rather just go through the games first, and then we can talk more about the deck. But the deck's cool. I mean, cool. Like the cards are pretty cool. Yeah, you run a restaurant, and yeah. People don't want to dine at your restaurant, you better beat their ass down. Alrighty, welcome to the first game, and we're going second. We're playing against Labyrinth, which is an ideal matchup. First thing first, I'm going to say things that are weak with the deck before we even start like going too much into this. Ash really, really hurts. Like, if they Ash like key points in this deck, really painful. Maxi is really painful. Duel's really painful. Like, a lot of the hand traps are really painful, which is why I ended up putting in the Gamma, because Gamma does help with them. But you see, he's going to be comboing off. I have no hand traps, so here comes Diviner. He Ashes. This Ash actually doesn't hurt that much, because Diviner, we already have, like, a lot of stuff to do. He's going to Ghastly Glitch, which is pop our card, this is actually really annoying, because I wanted to attribute the Diviner, so I can summon the level 1 new card. I mean, all these cards are new, but the level 1 Nouvelles that isn't a ritual monster, because it lets you search. So I'm going to use this to pop the back row. He's going to set that. And now I'm going to be able to actually combo off. Here I get the ritual spell. So, this is the thing about the deck. If your opponent is not aware of what you're doing, this deck is really, really strong, because a lot of people place their cards in attack mode, right? But once these people start understanding what this deck does, that's kind of where it starts to crumble. So, you're going to have fun in lower brackets with this deck, because people are going to play like an idiot. So, since he played everything in attack, this is what I get to do. So we're doing this. I ended up cutting this package out just because like it was decent, but I cut this package out for the Gamma package. So here I get to tribute all his attacking monsters. This is non-targeting this effect, so I tribute his attack monster to go into a level 5. The level 5 lets me tribute Ariana to go into the level 6, and the level 6 tributes everything on the field. And now we get the Chef Recipe, which is a negate. Okay, so the really cool thing about the field spell is it grabs cards from the graveyard. So if I go first and I have this negate and I use it on their turn, if I field spell again, I can grab the trap from the deck. So that's actually like a really cool interaction. Also, at the end of every turn, if you're familiar with Prank Kids, it's similar to how their card works, where it lets you to target multiple cards in your graveyard, shuffle them back into the deck, and then draw a card. But yeah, this is like, you're seeing what we're doing here. This is pretty strong end board, even though we weren't able to kill him. Very strong end board because we have a tribute, because I contribute one of his attack monsters to special summon Hungry Burger. And then on top of that, IP Masquerena lets you go into Dynamundo, which lets you spin a card back into the deck, similar to Pearly. And then you can also tribute this card to special summon a ritual monster from the graveyard, so we can bring back one of our Poltails, Nouvelles, or whatever. So it's really, really strong board. Plus we have a negate. Like, he's super, super screwed. No shop. Looks like our opponent's not going to do anything. I didn't want to spin the card he set, because if this was anything good, I didn't want to because this needs a Nouvelles ritual monster, so I rather just get the negate off, and it's GG. So when you're playing against decks that target, this deck does phenomenal, because we all have, like, these monsters have effects when they're targeted too. So, like, especially the early ritual, like the ritual 1, the ritual 3, 4, 2, they all have effects when you target them. You can do something with it. So they do thrive in that type of, I guess, environment. All right, we're here at game number 2, and our hand is pretty okay. It's pretty good. We're going to add Ben 10 here. We're going to add Nouvelles. We're going to use this to tribute the Ben 10. And this is going to allow us to draw a card, and then we add the Saitama. Saitama is going to allow us to go into the Baron de Fleur. And now we're going to use Prep of Rights to grab the Chain Slime. You usually Prep of Rights, you do end up grabbing Chain Slime a lot. But our opponent ends up having the Yugioh, so we actually stop this and we can combo off more. And now we're going to tribute. Oh, by the way, little tip, by the way, with these incantations, try placing them in attack most of the time, because you need to tribute attack monsters. So, like, you don't want to, well, how bad would it have been if I had to tribute my Baron, right? So we're going to add the Chef Recipe, and then we're actually going to go into this. This is going to let me search off the top. I think I do hit. It's actually kind of nice, because hitting any ritual, even if you don't want it, you can shuffle it back in your deck with your thing. So here we're going to go on IP. Remember how good this board was? Like, we have a pop that lets you go into another pop, which lets you go into another pop. So we had technically, just for this interaction here, that's 3 pops. And then we have a negate, and we also have a spin. And the spin can go into another pop, technically. So we actually have a lot of interruption here. It's like 6 interruptions, or 5 interruptions, something like that. So we're going to have to negate, obviously, Regeki, and he just scoops it up. I just wanted to show you this end board, because this is most likely the ideal end board. There is a world where you end on Baron too, if you open a little better. But the reason why we didn't end on Baron, obviously, and we got rid of our Baron, is because we already used the negate. There was no point to keep it. Alrighty, here we are with game number 3, and we're going first. Our hand's pretty okay, and our opponent's going to Ash, but we have Call By. Thank you. And now we are going to go into this. He max sees us, which is really unfortunate, because, yeah, we're pretty much not going to really do anything here. I do hit the negate trap, which is pretty good. And when I say negate trap, I'm talking about the field spell. You grab the negate trap a lot of the time, so we're going to do this to shuffle, thinning out the deck. So this was actually maybe a mistake on my part. Maybe I don't think I should have used Prep Rights right at that moment, because technically I kind of missed out on this draw, which I could have drawn into another hand trap. So he's going to be playing Kashtira, which is, to me right now, is fine. I negate the birth, but he has everything. He literally has everything. I should 100% lose this game. There's no reason why I have a remote chance here. He plays Fenrir in defense, and I think that's the reason why he's not going to be able to kill me this turn. Because technically, he has... Look how much damage he has. He has 5,600, but you guys are missing out on the 3,100 here. And I actually mess up because I shouldn't have done this. The thing is, I knew what was happening. I just did it anyway. If you watch the stream, I just clicked it anyway because I was like, oh, whatever, because I thought I was just dead. Because when this triggers, it triggers this, and you can pop this. So there's 2 opportunities where he could have killed me, because it would have been 100% lethal if he just attacked me with everything. Instead, he's going to go into a Rise Heart, which is fine. So we got playing against full board, and we only got 4 cards. So we're going to summon the Candle. Candle's going to grab Talisman. It's going to trigger Unicorn. And he actually uses this immediately, which is really dumb. Really, really dumb. Because it's not like this effect gets negated or anything. I don't know if he just wanted to, like, get all the pieces of the puzzle out, but, like, this wasn't killing anyone, right? So you're going to see how dominating one of these cards do. One of these cards can be. But again, I want to point out, if this person was smart, they know the deck I'm playing, they would have placed all these cards in defense. So now we're going to draw. I'm going to attack. I'm going to tribute his cards. Because when this card attacks or is attacked, or when any monster is attacked, think of this card as, this card works with anything being attacked or targeted. So that's how this card works. So I'm going to tribute. I go into this guy. This guy's going to tribute. It goes into this guy, and this guy tributes everything on the field. He not only tributes everything on the field, he Dark Rulers the field first, and then tributes them if you summon it off of this. So now we're going to do this to grab the trap again. We're going to talent, set imperm. So ideally, it would have been better if I was able to set up a IP Masquerena, but obviously I was not able to. But this is still pretty good. I can agree with that. We're just going to tribute his card. He has Ash. We're going to negate the Ash, tribute it for the Hungry Burger, and we get the win with the Hungry Burger on the field, which is nice. Alrighty, we're here with the 4th game, and I'm going to tell you guys ahead of time this is the last game because I don't have that much time anymore to, like, play these games for, like, to play, like, for, like, 6 hours, 7 hours to try and get you guys the best footage. So this time I only was able to play around, like, 4.5 hours. To get you some, like, decent games where people weren't just, like, insta-scooping or something. You know? I had a good amount of people insta-scoop. But I also insta-scooped a lot, too, because, like I said, like, there's a lot of games. By the way, this board was terrible. I'm just gonna preface that right now. What I should have done if I wasn't a monkey is, I don't know why, but I should have tributed, instead of tributing Candle to the thing, you tribute Herald. That would have got us our level 1 on the field, and then the level 1 could have searched the trap, so at least I had trap plus Nouvelles, you know what I mean? I'm not 100% sure why I did it like this, but I just wanted to showcase again, your opponent being dumb is how you win this game. So we Ash. I'm going to tell you this right now, when I Ash this ability, I was like, okay, Fenrir has to hit something, because if he doesn't, I'm fucked. And I don't think he read this card, because I don't think he realized that, like, any card he targets, it fucks him over. So he ends up using it, so I go into this. Now I'm able to add that table. He battles, he's going to suicide. The reason I didn't activate this card's effect is very specific. So I didn't activate the effect because if for some reason he summons anything like a Link monster or anything in attack, I wanted to make sure I had this trigger to just boom, go for it. And I wanted him to take extra damage too, because this deck has kind of a hard time multi-getting. Like, I feel like they have a hard time putting up the numbers to kill someone, because the attacks on the monsters are relatively low. So he has Baron. And I'm gonna say that the opponent actually played this like relatively well on the back foot because like he messed up in the beginning, but like other than that, he just like he knew what cards to interrupt afterwards. Like he didn't interrupt this. I'm gonna use this to shuffle, draw a card. I got really lucky here. He saved the interrupt for the chalice slime because he knew the chalice slime was in my hand. He knew I needed to get one of the monsters to actually start killing him. But unfortunately for him is I did draw off this draw one. So he actually probably should have interrupted this. I probably would have lost if he interrupted this. But I think he had the right mindset here. But yeah, he just auto loses here. Here we get Paletas. We're going to use this to change this card into attack. And then we go into Paletas. Paletas is going to let us draw. And here is actually funny. I play the 1700 monster and give him the low attack monster. It really doesn't matter because we're going to go Dynamundo. That's going to bounce it back. And now we're going to be 100 off of lethal, which is like very criminal to me. Makes me very sad. Very, very sad. And then I set, obviously shuffle back, draw. And there's no way he could win. I have interruption. This isn't really an interruption, but I got interruption, and I got counterspell. So we're just gonna negate this, and it's GG. So good game. We're gonna get to the recap. We'll talk about the deck in depth and explain my issues with it. You kind of heard a little bit of the issue. Welcome to the recap. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and turn on the notification bell because it helps me out greatly. Also, join the Discord. We host tournaments every Friday. If you're watching this on Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern, we host tournaments usually. So, yeah, check it out. How is this deck? Does this deck make me feel again? What's up with the deck? First thing I want to say is I think the deck is pretty good. I think it's like okay. It has major issues though. So it's a very fun engine. I'll say that, like tributing and stuff. But when you start playing against people who have a brain, like if you played against me and I have like the Megamind brain, like if you play against me, I am just not going to summon anything in defense. Now I will say, hold up. If you're playing against a deck that primarily relies on link monsters, okay, they don't have a choice. They have to be an attack, right? But for the most part, a lot of decks in the meta right now, there's not that many link monsters right now, like floating around. Yes, the math mechs are on the rise, so like you're gonna have probably a good time maybe against them, maybe not. I don't know, but I'm just saying like people who are smart, they're gonna play everything in defense, and you're gonna have a tough time dealing with it. I'm playing this massive synchro package, which could be a mistake. I'm going to be honest. I did want to play a gamma package where I can easily go into Barone, because I do think Nibiru does fuck this deck over pretty hard too. We have like decent ways of climbing out of it, but if you extended all those ways and then they just boom hit you with a Nibiru, does not feel good because obviously the trap takes a little bit to set its negate up. So yeah, you're gonna also wonder why aren't you playing Maxi, right? Because honestly, we don't really want to draw that many cards. We already draw a decent amount of cards and get a decent amount of cards from our engine, and it's a kind of strange, but like the incantation cards want to stay in the deck because we need to search them out with their effects, and like these cards all search from deck, so it's like it's a little strange to run Max C and draw a bunch of cards unless I'm running like 600 hand traps. So instead, we're just running a lot of good hand traps. So we're running Ash, Droll, Imperm. We're running triple tactics thrust at 3, which sounds psychotic, but it's actually not that bad. Bare minimum worst, it sets an Imperm. Best, you can talent your opponent. Medium, you can search for La Carte, which will actually let you get some pieces if you're missing anything. So there is some like good synergy there. How do I feel about the Diviner engine? The Diviner engine seems pretty decent. It's a little hard to get off because a lot of people interrupt it, but if you do get it off, it's pretty much you get a Baron for free. If you Gamma anyone with this build, you get Gamma for free. You get a Baron for free because of this. So those are the good things about the deck. Like I said, the bad things is the other good things is like the tribute mechanic is really, really strong, especially when you look at cards like this, because this card does not target. So like I played against Makonko players where they think they're safe because they have Huli on the field, and nope, this card goes right through that. And they'll attack into this card too, or they'll attack one of my monsters while this is up. And it's like, oh well, I just tribute your cards and have fun. Also, this card too. This card is the tribute when it comes on the field by the effect. It's obviously non-targeting because it tributes your opponent's entire board, which is really sweet. So yeah, I mean, there's obviously some good stuff going on with this deck, but I just think the negatives are predictable. Very easy to know what their deck's doing, right? Just play cards in defense and deal with the board that way. Or deal with it by making unaffected by monster effect monsters like Chaos Angel and stuff like that. Oh, Vanquish Soul, the new deck that's like the new deck Vanquish Soul that's actually out that I did a video on. That deck actually dicks on this. Like it's actually feels like a very hard matchup because not only do they dodge spot removal, because a lot of these cards besides this is spot removal. And on top of that, none of their pops like target. So like they never target any of your cards. So like that's like one of the most painful things I would say about that deck. I think you're gonna see more Vanquish Soul if people can afford it actually. So I should probably say that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think the deck's fun. But again, I don't even know if this is the optimal build, but we did work on it for a while and it seemed pretty good. So on a serious setting, right? 1 out of 10, I'm going to give this a 7. And on a tier list for that, it would be a rogue tier deck. But as it goes for rituals, it's not a bad ritual deck. It's just rituals aren't particularly that strong. I know some people have been doing, like there was a tournament listing with someone playing Libromancer with this deck, but I just don't have the Libromancer card, so I didn't bother trying it. It's pretty expensive too. It's like it adds pretty much like 5-6 URs to the deck, which is pretty painful in my opinion. So let me know what you guys think. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and join our tournament. Okay, bye bye.